In today's video, I am going to teach you how to combine tables with different columns in Excel. To begin, we are going to make sure your Power Query changes are not stuck in the editor. In your Power Query window, look at the top left corner and click File. Then click Close and Discard. This is important because Close and Discard will exit the Power Query editor without saving the current preview steps you are no longer using. It clears the way so you can set up the next part cleanly, especially when you are building a workflow to combine tables. Next, you will prepare your first table. Select your first data range, for example, cells A1 to C3. Make sure the range includes the header row, since Excel will use those top cells as the column names. Once the range is selected, press Ctrl+T on your keyboard. After that, click OK to convert the range into an official Excel table. Turning it into a table matters because Power Query and formulas work much more reliably with structured tables instead of plain cell ranges. Now that you have your first table created, you will set up a new query that references the current workbook. To do that, go back to the Data tab at the top of Excel. From there, look for Get Data, then choose From Other Sources and select Blank Query. At this point, Excel will open a blank query window, and that is exactly what we need before we tell it what to pull from the file. Next, you will enter a simple Power Query expression. Click inside the formula bar in the Power Query window and type =Excel, current workbook, then press Enter. This expression tells Power Query to load information about the workbook that you currently have open. You will be using this to find your tables by name and then expand them into a combined structure later. Now that the workbook content is loaded, you need to expand the table. Look for the 2-arrow expand icon on the content column. Click that expand icon. This step controls what fields you want to bring out of the nested workbook content. It is the difference between seeing one combined item and actually getting the table rows and columns that you can work with. At this stage, you will notice an option labeled Use Original Column Name as Prefix. Uncheck that option. This is helpful because when you combine data from multiple tables, column prefixes can become cluttered and confusing. By unchecking it, you allow Excel to keep column names cleaner and easier to match across different tables. After you uncheck that option, click OK to confirm your expansion choices. This will populate the data with the columns you selected from the workbook content, letting you see the underlying tables in a format Power Query can transform and eventually merge or append. Finally, you will apply everything back into Excel so you can see the result. When you are done with the setup and expansion, go to the Home tab and click Close and Load. This sends the query output back into the worksheet. At that point, Excel will generate the table result based on the steps you defined. And that covers everything you need to know.